Blog Talk Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is the Voice of the People on Monday, September 11, 2017. It's the Voice of the People with Mark Lee and Dean Geronimo. I am the six-man Dean Geronimo. And Mark, tell me something good, my brother.
Hey, I'm doing good. You know, sitting here chilling in North Carolina. It's a little overcast right now. We just had a little bit of rain. They said we might get a little bit more, but they're saying that the western part of North Carolina is what's going to get hit more with Irma than we're going to get hit. So we're just going to be dealing with a little bit of rainfall and things of that nature. But Irma's not going to do any serious damage. I mean, we might get some wind. We might get some trees toppling. But considering what they got going on in places like Houston that had to deal with Harvey and down in Florida, and I got friends that have got property in the Virgin Islands, and, you know, down there they just got devastated by Irma. They got, you know, boats that look like matchsticks and houses that look like rubble, so they definitely dealing with some serious damage down there. So we definitely got to have them in our prayers and things of that nature. So that's what's going on here. Like I said, it's a little overcast, but I just came back from a meeting with one of the boards that I belong to, so we're trying to have some board matters going on, and we all got out there, and now that we had our meeting, it's time to chill out and do this show. You know, ready to rip and roll and things of that nature. I saw that, you know, we always talk about things going on in the world, but I was thumbing through the paper today, and I saw that Miss Hillary Clinton said that she is done with being a candidate. But you know, Dean, I'm beginning to think that Hillary might be listening to our show. I don't know this for a fact, but, you know, she said something in her interview that we've said now for a while, because it says that she was speaking on CBS Sunday morning, and she got a memoir that's out called What Happened, but she says she's going to be an active politician, and she says, but I'm not done with politics because I literally believe that our country's future is at stake. She also was critical of President Donald Trump's preparedness for the White House. She said, and we said this on our own show here, she said, and I quote, "We have a reality show that leads to the election of a president. He ends up in the Oval Office." He says, "Boy, it's so much harder than I thought it would be. This is really tough. I had no idea." Clinton said, "Well, yeah, because it's not a show. It's real. It's reality for sure."
Wow. And you know what? I guess some people don't realize what a job actually entails. And a lot of times, I mean, for him, he probably thought, you know what? I've run businesses before. This is going to be easy. And when he got into it and found out that the world is not so forgiving, you know, and there are a lot of things that he was not privy to, but now as the president, he has that information. So it hit him in the face. It's like, oh, my God, what is going on with all of this stuff? I had no clue, you know, but I'm still going to try to fire as many people as I can possibly terminate, because that's what I do, you know. And it's almost like, dude, take a step back, sit down for a second, learn some things, and then maybe you can speak intelligently on what's going on instead of having a knee-jerk reaction and making threats. And, you know, I mean, you can't threaten people like Kim Jong-un, man. It's like, you really want to find out what, I don't know.
Like I said,
hopefully these years fly by. I'm not trying to rush life, but
I hope they fly by too, because, you know, he even broke, another article I checked out said that he has even broken one of his own promise. What else to do? He broke some of his promises, but, you know, he promised that he was not going to work. He promised that he was not going to work with foreign entities, but guess what? His company just did. It said a major construction company owned by the Chinese government was hired to work on the latest Trump Golf Club development in Dubai, despite a pledge from Donald Trump that his family business would not engage in any transactions with foreign government entities while he serves as president. So they've already done found out that he's already broken that promise, and he's over there and got a deal going on this lovely new development they got that apparently includes a golf course designed by Tiger Woods. So, you know, he's already broken that promise, and, you know, his company's having to backpedal on things of that nature. So Matter of fact, it says the Chinese company was appointed by DMAC to undertake some infrastructure work and to build one of their hospitality developments. That the Trump organization official who asked for, he's going to ask for not being named. That's just wrong. The official said the residential project and the golf course are totally unrelated, despite marketing materials including brochures, websites, and news releases showing them intricately tied together. DMAC, that's DAMAC, all capitals, one of them acronym kind of deals, and CEC did not respond to messages about the development. Why am I not surprised? The company's contract is for work on the Trump World Golf Club Dubai project, which boasts of living on a grand scale with a golf course designed by famed American golfer Tiger Woods, thousands of sleek modern villas, restaurants, shops, schools, nurseries, and a lake. And they even attended, Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. attended a ceremony to open the first golf club after their father spent years trying to break into the Middle Eastern market. So they did that back in February. So despite the fact that they're saying that they were not going to do any of this stuff, guess what? They're doing it.
Oh, yeah, I can tell you anything to keep you at bay. Meanwhile, if I can distract you from, what is really going on, then I'm able to do half of the things I said I wasn't going to do and hope you don't catch it. And then if you don't catch the first part, then I'll go ahead and try to get the second part. And it's sad because, it's almost like that old adage, growing up, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. So you end up having to deal with silliness, ignorance, drama, and all kinds of stuff. And unfortunately, that person right now is in charge of the country.
He's in charge of the country. And I'm wondering how many people are actually, is he going to be deporting? They're in the hospitality industry. Because, he is talking about the hospitality industry and how he could not deal with that. And, there's a whole lot of them immigrants that are in that industry. So I wonder how many of these folks are he going to be deporting that are in that industry, since he's already talking about wiping out the entire DACA, which, President Obama created to try to help some of these young folks that were from other countries and help them have a correct path into being here in our fine country. But now he is sitting there going to revoke all of that.
Well, here's the thing. If he starts with his wife, then you'll know he's dead serious. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
It's just getting crazy because they're saying that Trump's decision could wipe out deportation reprieve for young undocumented immigrants, and they're already being slammed. They say that they are being slammed because they're trying to get these permits renewed before an October 5th deadline. So some of their advocacy folks have said that this whole thing could cost millions of dollars in fees and stretch their resources to the limit. And some of these places that are being hit are in places that have also been hit by the hurricanes, like, Houston, Miami, places like that have got a very deep community of folks in the immigrant community. So they are just going to have to deal with all of this in addition to everything else. So it's just, they've got to deal with a natural disaster, and then they got to deal with a Trump disaster. They said that nearly 700,000 people have that protection now, the protection of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA as it's called. So you're talking about nearly 700,000 people are facing the possibility that they're going to have to go back to other countries. And some of these people were actually born here. So they're born here, lived here a sizable portion of their life, and now they're going to have to deal with this. They're saying, matter of fact, one of the folks who's the executive director of the National Partnership for New Americans, a coalition of organizations providing legal services to immigrants, says that right now they are dealing with 5,133 renewal applications every day, including today. That's 214. Oh, wow. They said that's 214 per hour if they work all night long.
Wow. That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
That's a whole lot.
that's an extreme amount, you know. So, hey, I don't know, but who we got tonight, bro?
We got William Burton. William Burton is a wonderful gentleman that I've known for a while. He's been involved on all kinds of stuff. He is a life coach. He is also a blues gentleman that has played blues music for a long time. I mean, he's played both here in North Carolina, but he also played in San Francisco. He was down there in the Haight-Ashbury district. You know, that's one of them famous districts and everything, because William is just like a very interesting individual, and he's just got a fascinating life story that I think a lot of folks will be interested in knowing what he's got to say and what he's all about.
Okay, and it seems like he's right on time. You just heard the doorbell. Thanks for calling the Voice of the People. Who we got on the line?
This is Brother William D. Burton.
Mr. Burton, good evening. Good evening.
Can you guys hear me okay?
We hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me? This is Mark Lee on the phone with you.
Mark, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I was just telling Brother Dean about your rich history and things of that nature, because, you know, you have just been in the mix of doing all kinds of fascinating things, and some of our listeners would like to know more and more about your history as well as what you've got going on now. So we're just going to take it back, and then we'll bring it up to the current stuff. But I know for a fact that when I first met you, you were very much involved in the blues community, and you were telling me about some of your rich history when you were living in San Francisco area, and how some of the famous people that you met and things of that nature. So if you could tell us a little bit about your youthful days, and then we'll get back to some of the things that you're doing now as a life coach. But I just wanted to give people a little bit of a broad history of you and what you're about. So if you can tell us a little bit about your early days of music and some of what that was like being in the midst of that very historical area.
Well, Mark, I have a very unique kind of experience with music. I bought a guitar when I was 30, you know, and everybody told me that I was too old to learn how to play. And that, my friend, was a challenge. You know, don't throw down the gauntlet to me, because I will rise to the occasion, right? 1 year later, an acquaintance of mine said, would you like to play at a private party for Cat Stevens? As you well know, his name now is Yusuf Islam. And wrote stuff like Morning Has Broken and stuff like that. He took Sam Cooke's Saturday Night and I Ain't Got Nobody, made a re-hit out of that, right? And the rest is geography. Cat was playing for 25,000 people at every concert, you know. So he heard my music, man. And, well, my friend said, we can get you to play at his private party. I said, Chump, you don't know Cat Stevens. And he says, you are 100% right. But his best friend is my best friend, and we are doing a surprise party for him at the London Bar and Grill, and I can get you in as his entertainment. And I went, man, that's crazy. So when I started playing it in this little, at the London Bar and Grill, they have an executive suite for just catering to, you know, people like Cat Stevens, right? So I'm standing 10 feet away from this cat, and I'm playing this acoustic guitar, man, and I'm so nervous, it just falls all apart, man. I just lost it, you know. And this is, let me say, as a motivational trainer, I got to say this. This is why adults, right, don't try new things, because adults don't want to be embarrassed, right? And I keep telling people, I keep telling people, it's got to suck before it can blow, you know? If they don't believe me, you know. So I said, Mr. Stevens, can I start over? Well, what had happened was I wrote a song about a friend of mine who was a priest, and he said he didn't want to be a priest anymore because God wanted him to open up a group home called Harry's Mother, right, in Portland, Oregon. And he said, collect these teenagers who are runaways and make them call home and tell their mama, hey, Mom and Dad, I'm safe. I'm at Harry's Mother's, right? And so, I mean, created a thriving little organization for the you know, to help heal the community, you know. And so my song, one of my lyrics in the song goes, my friend Reese was a priest until he kicked the habit. He found God out in the street, not only in the abbey. And some folks thought him crazy, and others thought him quite odd. He said a man don't need religion just as long as he's got God, right?